Hello, my name is JD Cambron. I'm a third-year resident from the Christus Health Texas A&M residency in emergency medicine in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'll be discussing my project titled Original Research from Authors with Community-Based Emergency Department Affiliations, 2008 versus 2018. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize my co-authors, Michael Miller, John Lucas Webb, Tom Sue, and Peter Richmond. No disclosures to be made. By way of introduction, over the last 10 years, there has been a significant increase in the number of community-based emergency residency programs. Emergency Medicine Residents Association, EMRA, database demonstrates that community ED programs have caught up and nearly surpassed the amount of university-based programs. The EMRA website currently lists 226 total emergency department residency programs, with 107 of those being community programs and 119 of those being university programs at the moment. With single accreditation of ACGME and AOA programs now complete, the current requirement for production of research during emergency medicine residency is that one participates in a scholarly activity during residency. We hypothesized that there would be a large discrepancy in the amount of published research from university programs versus community ED residency programs from 2008 to 2018, despite the great increase in community ED residencies during that time. So our objective was to evaluate the contribution of investigators from community-based centers to the emergency medicine original research literature in 2008 versus 2018. In terms of methods, our study design was one of retrospective review of all published research articles in academic emergency medicine and annals of emergency medicine for 2008 and 2018 retrospectively. Our setting was that the study was conducted at a community-based teaching facility, and the investigators conducted a structured review of each article to identify study design and site type, being community versus university-based. We evaluated each monthly issue of AEM and Annals from years 2008 and 2018. The first author of the published article was determined to be either community or university-based. A second study author for this project performed a review of 25 articles so that we could assess inter-observer agreement for data abstraction. So our primary outcome parameter was to compare the proportional contribution of first author investigators from community-based programs within AEM and Annals for 2008 versus 2018. With regard to our statistical methods, categorical data presented as frequency of occurrence and analyzed by chi-square. So let's review our results. There were 381 total articles reviewed. We had 188 articles in total from Annals of Emergency Medicine and 193 articles in total from academic emergency medicine. There's 199 articles from the year 2008 and 182 articles from 2018. Only 13% of the articles were published via community-based authors. So we did not observe a statistically significant change in the proportional contribution of community-based first author publications. So in 2008, there's a total of 11% community-based publications within both journals, and in 2018, there was 15% publication. So we had a p-value of 0.2. Of note, inter-rater agreement for the designation of author affiliation was substantial at 0.79. Looking at each journal individually, there was no significant difference in community-based affiliation first authorship within the two journals for 2008 versus 2018. With academic emergency medicine, 10% in 2008 versus 16% in 2018. Although there's a numerical increase, it was not statistically significant. Similar findings with Annals of Emergency Medicine. There was an increase in percentage from 11% to 13%. However, it was not statistically significant. Further, in comparing the two journals against each other, there were no differences detected between the two journals for community-based first authorship production in 2008 versus 2018. AEM 10% in 2008 versus Annals 11%. And in 2018, AEM was 16% community publication versus Annals 13% community publication. So by way of discussion, the number of emergency residency programs in 2008 versus 2018 demonstrates a large amount of growth that has continued annually over the last decade. Comparing the NRMP data from 2018 to 2019 demonstrates that the number of ACGME accredited EM programs increased from 220 to 238 in that 1 year alone. With single accreditation of the ACGME OA programs now occurring, there's a singular requirement of research production EM residency that is one that participates in a scholarly activity during residency. The EMRA database, as mentioned earlier, demonstrates that community programs have caught up to and nearly surpassed the amount of university programs, with that website mentioning 107 community programs to the 119 university programs. ACGME code section IVB12 currently states, IVB2 currently states that all residents must complete a scholarly activity in order to graduate. That data shows that all of emergency medicine residents in the United States, out of all of them, nearly 50% of those are community-based. Even with that large amount of community-based percentage, only 15% of the original research is being produced in that setting. So the questions that could be asked are, is this because there is a major journal bias towards university settings? Or is it a lack of community production that is contributing to these findings? So this study was limited in the fact that it is a retrospective study, and we were unable to obtain exact community versus university-based residency programs in 2008 due to the lack of EMRA and NRMP data availability from that time. In conclusion, though EM community-based first authorship proportionally increased between 2008 and 2018, we did not observe a statistically significant difference. Here are my references. Thank you.